Hello and welcome back to another Router Guides video. My name's Humphrey. We're going to do a quick review of Duke Language School in Bangkok Explore 2 class, which I just finished a couple days ago. Explore 2 is the 5th class, so it's 5 out of 9 classes. The way they do it is Journey 1, 2, and 3. That is for talking, communication, verbal communication. Then they do Explore 1, 2, and 3. That concentrates on reading and writing. And then Connect 1, 2, and 3, which concentrates on Thai culture. I paid full price, which is 8,000 baht. This was a 1-month course, so it was 4 weeks, Monday through Friday. I did the afternoon class, which was 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So this is a total of 15 hours a week, times 4 weeks, 60 total hours. Paid full price will always pay full price. That just keeps the reviews honest. A lot of people ask why. Why continue through these classes into the Explore 1 and 2 to learn to read and write? And I'll give you a very good example. This is what happened to me and a former classmate yesterday we're here in Pattaya, spending the week off. And we were at a restaurant, we were at the Salad Factory at Central Festival, and the bill came, and the bill is in Thai. And it was like, okay, salad. Okay, we were at the Salad Factory, so that was kind of easy to figure out, but in Thai, it said salad, salmon, fish. I had the pasta, the spaghetti carbonara, and it spelled it out, and I was like, holy crap, I can read this receipt, this itemized bill in Thai. And then also, he was talking to someone online, so Line is the chat app in Thailand, and the person was responding in Thai, and he passed the phone over. I was like, oh yeah, she is saying you're a liar, so go hok. The reason why for me personally is to do kind of normal things where I don't need to pull up the phone, turn it into Google Translate, open up the Google Translate app and point at it like a dummy. When we compare the skill level that I was at Explore 1 versus where I ended up in Explore 2, it is a night and day difference. With Explore 1, you have learned all the consonants and all the vowels, but you haven't learned all the clusters, all the camouflage words, all the silent words or silent letters. You haven't learned all the extra marks. So what was frustrating for me is after Explore 1, yes, I learned all the letters, but if you handed me a book in Thai, I could barely read it. I could sound out the letters, kinda, but the problem was I didn't learn all the extra stuff that is contained in Explore 2. So now after Explore 2, I can pretty much read everything. Still slow, that just requires extra practice, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, it's a much better feeling finishing Explore 1 and then trying to go out into the world and read everything. Also the fonts too, we'll talk about the fonts. But so now I can go on Pantip in Thai and read pantip.com. And for those of you guys who don't know, Pantip is maybe the biggest Thai forum out there, and being able to go through the forums now in Thai, not having to copy and paste the whole page to put it into Google Translate and punch it into English, that's just an awesome feeling. Okay, let's talk about the teacher, Kruu June. Kruu June was extremely patient with us. She's a really good teacher, and I would say, in fact, out of the teachers I've had so far, all the teachers have been great, but out of Kruu Namwan, Kruu Mink, and now Kruu June. So this is my 3rd teacher at Duke. Kruu June is probably the most serious one out of all of them. We had fewer games, so the other classes we had more games. The big reason why she was probably the most serious out of the ones that I've had so far is Explore 3 class is a serious class. It is teaching you extra rules that, the normal expat in Thailand isn't learning. Camouflage vowels, that's a doozy. Clusters, pseudo clusters, false clusters, true clusters, that's always fun. The fonts, different fonts, they show you that later. How to write numbers in Thai. So we're not talking English 1, 2, 3, 4. There's extra Thai symbols. Yeah, this is a serious class, and I think it does require a more serious teacher to keep everyone on track. So Kruu June did a did an awesome job, double thumbs up. Okay, let's talk about the vocabulary. I felt that in this class we had, per chapter on average, less vocabulary than in Explore 1. If I had to make a rough guesstimate, it's about 80 to 90 vocabulary words per chapter. Most of those words we've already learned. We've already learned in Journey 3, we've already learned in Explore 1, but the difference is now we can spell it out, now that we can write it. So in this book, there are 9 actual chapters, but really the majority of the rules and everything are in the first 5 or 6 chapters. After that, it's kind of extra stuff like the fonts. When you first learn how to read and write Thai, you're learning the standard font, which is a lot of circles and the head, little loops and stuff. And the loop is called a head. And the modern font, is when you go out into the world, you're going around Bangkok, you're on the skywalk, and you're looking at the signs and you're looking at advertisements, especially online as well. You're looking out at the world. Most of that, vast majority of that, is in what's called the modern font. And that's a doozy because you've learned how to read and write with these set of characters. Now you change the font. And you may think, what's the big deal? It's a big deal because everyone in class struggled with the chapter on fonts because we're just like, we're handed this AirAsia advertisement. We're like, it's almost like we're back in kindergarten after reading long passages of Thai fairly easily. Now we just got slapped back like 5 grades or something like that. Okay, the question that most people ask, homework. How much homework is involved? I felt the assigned homework, so the homework that Kruu Jun actually gave us and told us to complete at night, was actually less. So on half of the nights, we weren't assigned homework. And so that was pretty cool. And the homework that we were assigned was usually pretty manageable, probably easily completed within 30 minutes or less. If you want to be successful in class, then you're going to have your self-assigned homework or your self-study. If you want to do okay in class, 1 hour of self-study per night. If you want to be more successful, you want to have a better time in class, especially when you're assigned to read and write and go up on the board and stuff like that, 1.5 to 2 hours. And what was different about my study habits for Explore 2 versus Explore 1 is in Explore 1, I would go to class. So before class, I would eat some lunch somewhere, right? Either piri-piri down on the ground floor, or I would go to Terminal 21. I'd go to Starbucks, have my sandwich, or have pepper lunch, somewhere in Terminal 21. And then I'd go to class. After class, I go to Starbucks, and then I do my homework and I do my self-study. Not in Explore 2. 30 minutes to an hour of self-study before class. I go to class, and then after class, I hit Starbucks again, and I do another hour or so of self-study. In my case, that is what it took for me to tread water to be okay in class. So yeah, you just count on putting in the hours, putting in a lot of hours, just reading and writing. You will write so much in Explore 2 that your hands will cramp. I think I said that in Explore 1 as well. And that brings us to the pace of the class. And the pace is extreme. You are covering a chapter every 2 or 3 days. It's like you're going to a mall. You're going to a mall for the first time, you're looking around, you're doing some window shopping, and you've also brought your family around, maybe your parents, and you're kind of walking through the mall and you see a cool store like, dude, that's the Uniqlo store, that's the GameStop store, I want to go in there. But as you're about to go in there, someone pushes you from behind, your family, let's go, keep going, keep going. So that's the same thing with Explore 2. There's a couple chapters in this book where I really liked them. I kind of wanted more practice with that section, with that chapter. It's like, this is really good stuff. I want to stay on this chapter. But then, boom, we're taking the quiz. We're going forward. I was like, oh man, like it would have been nice to spend like another day or two on this, but we're going forward. On the flip side, there were chapters which I absolutely hated. And it's like, okay, maybe getting pushed forward isn't such a bad thing. You're covering a book in 4 weeks, a dense book in 4 weeks. Could it be 6? Absolutely. It could be 6. It could be 8. But looking back to when I started in August, vocabulary was very limited. I felt very uneasy speaking in Thai. Now it's like, whatever, we're good. Reading and writing, couldn't do it. Other than like go guy, the G and the N, right? The common ones. And A, I could say, Okay, couple tips for you guys. Getting a good notebook, finding a good notebook. So I found some notebooks at Muji. So Muji's kind of like, I don't know what you want to say. It's something kind of like a Japanese IKEA-ish. And so Muji sell these notebooks. They're really cool. It's 5 small notebooks for 89 baht, so less than $3. And those 5 notebooks should last you throughout all of your time at Duke. Let's talk about the writing tablet. I talked about this for Explore 1. Get this bad boy. Go to BTS, B2S. It's 250 baht, 300 baht, something like this. And this is what I use to practice all my writing. So I'm looking at the book, I'm copying it down, I'm writing it, and then I'll go from left to right, and then I hit this button, it's all gone. So this has been a lifesaver, and this has survived since the beginning of Explore 1. So this has lasted me for 2 months of class and 3 months total. This is just my personal observation. What I've noticed is the students that live far away tend to miss class a lot, right? I know one student, he lived like all the way in Damwang Airport, DMK Airport, and he was commuting every day. I think he was riding a bike, a motorcycle. He's riding a motorcycle every day. Like he missed a lot of class. There are others that live even further away. If you're going to go to any school, I would suggest, if you're serious about going to school, I would suggest picking a condo nearby. Now, I live at Udumsuk right now, so Udumsuk is a 20 to 25 minute train ride, BTS, a SkyTrain ride away. And it takes me 5 minutes to walk from the condo to the SkyTrain station, Udumsuk SkyTrain station, so that's 30 minutes. And then I get off Asuk and I walk. So that's another 10 to 15 minutes. So that's 45 minutes each way, hour and a half each day of commute. So I'm fixing that. I'm actually getting a condo right next to the Trinity building, right next to Duke. And so my commute will be going down the elevator and then walking across the street. I should cut that down to less than a couple minutes. And my final tip for you guys, if you're coming from Explore 1, you have to have your tone rules, your tone chart, all the tone marks and what they do, live and dead syllables. You have to be really, really good on that. If you slacked off on that part, this is going to hurt you in Explore 2. It's going to come back and kill you in Explore 2. So if you have a break between Explore 1 and Explore 2, review live dead syllables and the tone rules. And also what I suggest is what I did, and a couple other students did as well, is on your notebooks, on the front page of your notebooks, or turn it over, whatever, right? On the front of your notebook, recreate the tone chart. So my ek, my to, my dri, all that stuff, right? Recreate the tone chart, the class ABC, C1, C2, the live dead, and all the rules, right? It was funny because on the last day of class, we were reviewing everything before, and we were like, oh man, how do I remember what the tone rule for that was? And I got out my notebook and looked at the front page where I had the chart, and the teacher, everyone's like, oh, what's that? It's like, I'm a dummy, so I just copied down the tone chart, and I'm like, haha, and most of the other class got out their notebooks and they're like, haha, well, I did it too. So it's like, don't feel bad. It's okay. A lot of people come into Thailand and they think, I can never learn how to read and write. It's just too tough. There are too many letters. It's alien characters. I'm used to reading and writing English. How can I possibly learn how to read and write in Thai? I'm here to tell you that you can. It takes practice. It takes many, many hours of just pain and suffering. And there comes a point when you just have to realize that you just have to put in 1 to 2 hours a day of reading and writing. That's what it comes down to. The only way to get better at reading and writing Thai is to read and write Thai. If you want to run faster and further, what's the only way to do it? You have to run faster and further. You got to run every day. Same thing with Thai. Okay, so what's next? What's next is starting next month. We've got a week break. We come back to school January 3rd or 4th, something like that. And I will be going in the morning class, so we're changing it up. Instead of the afternoon class, we're going to try the morning class. I'm not a morning person, but we'll give it a go. We're going to do Journey 3 all over again. Why would I do Journey 3 again? Why would I subject myself to that? Well, I really like Journey 3. I love the vocabulary and the grammar in Journey 3. It was making compound sentences. It was more of talking. It was like, if then, if this happens, despite this, I'll do this. Even if this happens, I will still do this. So that type of structure, a lot of that. And I really liked it. But now what's cool is I can write most of those words. In Journey 3, the way we learned it was all the English conversion romanticized, or whatever it's called. But now I can write almost all of those words, or should be able to write almost all of those words. So I'm going to kind of make my own class. Yes, I'll go back. It'll be easier in terms of the speaking and the listening part, but I'm going to make it a little bit tougher, because now instead of writing the English transliterated way of doing it, I will try to write everything in Thai, because why not? I went through Explore 1 and 2. Should be fun. Okay, so that was my review of Duke Language School in Bangkok. Explore 2 just finished up. And in summary, thumbs up. Great teacher, great school, great content. Loved the book. And it's tough. It's tough, not gonna lie. It's definitely the toughest class that I've been through in a long, long time. I'll see you in a couple weeks with another video and another review. And of course, Merry Christmas, because we're doing this on December 25th. All right, take care, stay safe, bye.